The 5 Scrum Values. Do we know what they are, why they're in the Scrum Guide, and what purpose they serve? Hi, I'm Adrian Baker from Agile Horizons, and in this short video, we're going to be looking at the 5 Scrum Values. We're going to be looking at what they are, where they came from, but most importantly, we're going to be applying them to some real life scenarios and seeing how these values can help us to do Scrum better. Let's dig in. So here are the 5 Scrum values, which are commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. So what do they all mean? Commitment, this is all about the goals that we have in Scrum, such as the product goal and the sprint goal. So the team as a whole commits to these goals and supports each other throughout the work to achieve them. Focus, the team again as a whole focuses on the work of the sprint. Openness. This is about being able to be open about the work that we're doing, the challenges and so on, and to be able to say, there's things I don't understand, or I'm struggling, or I need some help. Respect. So the team respects each other as capable, independent people. And courage. This is the courage to do the right thing and to say the right thing. Jeff Sutherland often talks about speaking truth to power, which means saying things that may be uncomfortable to our leaders and our managers, but that need to be said. So those are the 5 Scrum values in a nutshell. So now we know what the Scrum values are, but why are they here? Why are they in the Scrum Guide? Where did they come from? So in the Scrum Guide, the 5 values are only mentioned very briefly, but in a great video by Jeff Sutherland, who's one of the co-creators of Scrum, and we can see a little screenshot here on screen, he goes into a lot more detail about these 5 Scrum values. So they are derived from many, many areas of study, such as systems theory, behavioral psychology, robotics, and from the Toyota production system, particularly from one of the lead engineers, Taiichi Ono, who was very influential on the whole of the Agile movement. Why are they there? They are designed to create and promote an environment where the following things can flourish: creativity, innovation, health and wholeness. And what he means here is kind of the happiness of the people in the team, and to create a sustainable pace. This is a common theme in Agile, that we are doing our work at a sustainable pace. So that is why they're there. Now let's apply them to some real life scenarios. Scenario number 1, and the story here is that the Scrum Master is keen to improve the quality of the deliverables. Well, that is great. What he does, though, is he assigns one of the team members to the role of quality engineer. And this engineer will inspect everyone's work on a daily basis and has to give approval before the item can be moved into done state. So on the surface of it, it seems like a good idea to improve quality. But what do we think about it? And more importantly, if we view this through the lens of our 5 Scrum values, what do we learn? First of all, commitment. There is a commitment here to improving the quality of the deliverables, which is good. However, there may be slightly better ways of doing it. Really, as we said a moment ago, commitment is about the entire team being committed to creating this deliverable and doing the work in the sprint, not just one person who's looking out for them all. Secondly, focus. Again, the entire team needs to focus on the work of the sprint. And this approach kind of suggests that some people are maybe not so focused. So we need this quality engineer to keep an eye on them, hold them to account, and so on. Not really in the spirit of Scrum. Lastly, respect. So this approach seems a little bit like micromanagement. There's kind of a lack of trust, a lack of respect, and we're saying we need somebody to keep an eye on you, to manage you on a daily basis, and to make sure what you're delivering is good quality. So my conclusion here, through applying the 5 Scrum values to this scenario, is while on the surface of it, it may seem like a good idea, it's not really in the spirit of Scrum. I've seen squads do this when they're quite new, but a mature squad, they shouldn't be doing this sort of thing. A mature squad, everybody is responsible for quality. Let's look at the next scenario. So this is scenario 2. And in this scenario, we have 3 squads who are working together on the same backlog. And some of the resources are shared across those 3 squads. So what they've decided, or what the Scrum Masters have decided to do, is to combine the daily stand-up into one, which lasts 45 minutes, but often overruns. And this will occur on alternate days, so Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In some ways, this seems like a good idea. Get everybody on the same page, everybody into a big meeting. But let's have a look at it through the lens of the Scrum values. Starting with focus, we're looking at a bigger meeting now. Will people be able to stay focused through this meeting of 45 minutes, often longer, often over an hour? Will people be able to concentrate? The whole point of our daily Scrum, which is only 15 minutes, is that it's fairly easy for most people to focus and to concentrate on a 15-minute meeting. But times it by 3 or more, and we may lose focus. Secondly, courage. We need to have the courage to be able to say that we're struggling, or we need help, or we don't understand something. And while we may be comfortable saying this sort of thing with our immediate team, what about in front of a big meeting with maybe 45 people there? Are we still comfortable saying that sort of thing? Maybe not. So maybe we will lack the courage that we need in order to do Scrum well. Commitment, if people are not focused, then how can they be committed? They're not focused, they're not concentrating on what they're trying to achieve over the next 24 hours. Respect. Is this big jamboree approach really good use of people's time? What engineers often say is they like the idea of the 15-minute Scrum because it is only 15 minutes, it's time boxed, and doesn't get in the way of the work that they're doing throughout the day. And lastly, revisiting courage. Maybe the team members should question the Scrum Masters about how effective this big jamboree approach is. I've certainly been in this situation as a coach, and I have questioned the Scrum Masters. And after a little bit of coaching and discussion, they've decided to go back to the individual daily Scrum, which is way, way more effective. Lastly, to conclude, I would say it is way worth spending a little bit of your time memorizing these 5 Scrum values and keeping them with you, keeping them in your day-to-day work as you do Scrum. They can help you, they can help guide you, they can help you improve the way that you do things. If you like what you've heard here, this comes mostly from the Professional Scrum Master course over on Agile Horizons. Go over there to the website, agilehorizons.com. If you like any of the courses, do get in touch. That's all for today. Thanks very much for listening.